We find that in our work, or perhaps in our family relationships, that there are situations in which the right path is not very clear. Perhaps we can later discuss some of these. You can share with us some of these type of situations. In my own life, I have found a number of times where my duties to family, my duties to the broader society appeared to conflict with my sense of what is right, what should be done. And the idea of withdrawing from it. Now, as a young man, that's exactly what I did. I was a child of the 60s. And so we were faced with a government, the US government, that was calling us to fight their war in Vietnam, a social system that was filled with, you could say, hypocrisy, external behaviors, people talking about each other in their face in one way and then behind their back in another way. We had racial tension. Perhaps some of you are following the current affairs in the US today, and seeing that despite the efforts that have gone on since the 60s, the Civil Rights Act, so many different programs and projects have been taken up. Even the election of an African-American president has not eliminated the racial discrimination, the abuse of power by the white community, not individually, but generally. And so there's a renewed call to counter this. So in my youth, we had the same issues, and we faced these and said, we thought like Arjuna perhaps, hey, I'm not going to fight this battle. I'm going to leave. And we did, many of us. I left behind college and so on, and went to live with some people in the deserts of New Mexico. But they didn't solve the problem. The problems continued. Not only did the problems continue in the world, but within me, I also found that I had not escaped a more fundamental dilemma. The dilemma that Arjuna is facing in the Battle of Kurukshetra is external. It's an external world that he's confronted with, in which a great battle is to take place, and he's confused by his sentiments and his feelings, that how can I fight my relatives? How can I fight my teachers? So his feelings are rising up, his emotions are rising up, and blocking his determination as a soldier to enter into the war. So these feelings and these emotions arise when we are faced with these type of existential dilemmas and crises. And we find there's an impetus just to walk away from it, to get away from it, to go somewhere else, just Get out of it. But just like I experienced in walking away from the fight, so to speak, that was taking place in America in the 60s, that there remains the fight within, the battle within, the tug, the pull of forces that are within our own psyche. They remain. So we'll find how, as we go on in the Bhagavad Gita, how Krishna very quickly deals with the moral component of Arjuna's dilemma and calls him and says, well, you know, put aside your feelings and do your duty. You're a soldier, you have to fight. But then he moves the whole conversation to another realm, to the realm of the spirit, to the realm of consciousness. And the whole Bhagavad Gita unfolds. So this moral dilemma, this situation that Arjuna is expressing in the beginning of the Gita is just to kind of set the framework in which the Gita will unfold, and to take that material sphere of confusion and emotion and put it in its place and say, this is going to be there, whatever happens. One of the first things we hear from Krishna is Matra Sparshas Tukonteya Sitoshna Sukha Dukada Agama Payano Nityas Tam Tatiksha Shrabharata, that these situations, these problems in the world, they're like the winter and summer seasons. They're going to come and they're going and become focused on your real goal, the real goal of life. So although we may look at the dilemma of Arjuna in the beginning of the Gita and think that the rest of the Gita is meant to solve that dilemma, that would be missing the point. The dilemmas like these never get solved. They're just replaced by some other dilemma. We find how in the Mahabharata, we see how after the battle, after the conclusion of the Mahabharata war, it is Yudhishthir's turn. In this section, it is Arjuna who is lamenting before entering the battle. But at the conclusion of the battle, we find Yudhishthir lamenting exactly the same way. How could I do this? How I should have just walked away. Why did I do this? He is expressing his emotion when he sees the death and the destruction and the carnage that took place and all the suffering caused by this battle. And he thinks, why did I do this? And he becomes very, very emotional. And in fact, no one can really satisfy him. He's not satisfied even by Krishna. It's only when Bhima begins to discuss the transcendental world that he becomes pacified. So these dilemmas, these crises in our lives may give us the impetus. They give us the push to seek the spiritual path. But we shouldn't think that simply by taking up the spiritual path that all problems in life will disappear. Problems will continue. But our approach to problems and our way of dealing with those problems, that will change. We will begin to adopt a different perspective on the problems of the world. Krishna did not promise Arjuna an end to all problems. Rather, he promised him, he gave him the path by which he could navigate the problems of the world from a spiritual perspective, beginning with the recognition of our spiritual identity. This is the beginning that we have to come to every day, every moment. Our conditioning, our sense of self as this body, our sense of who we are in respect of the personality that we have cultivated in this life is so strongly rooted in our consciousness that we have to remind ourselves moment to moment who we actually are. Sometimes devotees, they question, well, Srila Prabhupada, whenever he lectured and he spoke, he would say the same things. He would say, "You're not your body." And there have been devotees in the past, followers of Srila Prabhupada, who felt that, well, hey, I know that, and I want to hear more about Krishna's Leela and other topics. But my own personal experience, listening to Srila Prabhupada every day, because I have, and I hope many of you have the little box. Mine is a red one, that you just turn it on and there's Prabhupada's lectures. So I take advantage of that every day. And every time when he begins to tell me and discuss and talk about this fact of our spiritual identity, I think, yes, I need to hear that. Again and again, I need to hear that, because we're so prone to forget. We've been conditioned by innumerable lifetimes to forget our identity, to forget our actual identity as spiritual parts of Krishna. Not only as spiritual beings, but as the servants of Krishna. So that has to be constantly reminded. And Krishna begins in that way and then goes on. I need to turn this off. It's giving me a little bit of an alarm. And I don't want to, you don't hear it, I know, but it will keep going unless I stop it. So the beginning of the solution for Arjuna is to recognize who he is, to recognize his spiritual nature, and then to explore under Krishna's guidance to find out how to act in this world in such a way, not that there is no activity. Later, we're going to learn about these three descriptions of karma. Because the situation that we're hearing about now in the Gita is the field of karma. This is a complex demonstration of karma at work. In the Mahabharata, we'll find karma bringing about things, for example, Bhishma's destiny to be killed by Amba in the form of, is it just to do, I can't remember. Anyway, the name of the personality that she assumed. But this was his karma. And we'll find karma working itself out in Karna. We find karma working itself out in Duryodhana. Everywhere we find karma, and we even find karma working itself out in the Pandavas, in different situations in which their karma, at least superficially, appears to cause different situations for them. So we see this field of karma being enacted. So Krishna teaches us. He begins to talk about what is this whole field of karma. And he reveals that there are various forms of karma. Karma can take the shape of what is called karma, or karma in actions that are directed by the laws of karma. There's vikarma, activities that are in contravention of the laws of karma. And then he describes akarma. Akarma, those activities for which there's no karma involved, the activities of bhakti. This morning, as I was listening to Srila Prabhupada, he was talking about this and talking about how when we act for Krishna, there is no karmic result. He gave the example that you may have heard before about the soldier in a war who fights a battle and kills many people. But when he goes back to his home country, if he were to kill someone, then he would be guilty of a crime, of murder. And he couldn't say to the government, I was there in the battle, I killed so many people, and you gave me a medal. And now I've killed one person and you're going to hang me? When he was acting for the government, he was not responsible for the results of his behavior. But when he acted on his own, he became responsible. Now, this question of responsibility for one's actions, this is Arjuna's dilemma. He's feeling, I will be responsible. If I go ahead with this, if I carry out all this warfare, I will be responsible for the suffering of so many widows. I will be responsible for Varna Sankara, for unwanted population. I'll be responsible for the sin of killing my own teacher. Because we have these rules of karma. What is righteous? What is unrighteous? And he's feeling, if I act in this way, there's so much unrighteousness here. Why am I doing this? Now, of course, Krishna explained to him that it this is righteous of you. It is your duty to fight. And we can go and we can analyze and so on. But even within that sphere, we know that so long as it remains within the sphere of karma, that even you try to act as righteous as you can, there will be some fault, there will be some problem. Srila Prabhupada describes how karma is so all-pervasive that no matter what we do, no matter how much we try to avoid any kind of sinful action, even by eating, even by breathing, we're bound to commit some sin. And in such a way, we will be bound, we will continue to be bound into this material world. So the solution for Arjuna cannot be simply to sort out the karma. That's impossible. Karma, later on in the Gita, the world of karma is described like a upside down tree, a banyan tree. And any of you have seen banyan trees, big banyan trees that have spread. You can't tell where it begins, where it ends. It's all interconnected. So this is the world of karma. Therefore, Krishna leads Arjuna to go out of that world of karma, and into the world of bhakti, which is the world of akarma. This world is so different. In one place, Krishna says that it is like what is day for the materialistic person is night for the self-realized, and vice versa. Because when we're working on the platform of akarma, when we're working on the platform of service, when we have dedicated our entire life, our words, our actions, our hopefully at some point our thoughts, that's the last thing that is difficult to offer to Krishna. But we have to. Even the thoughts that are not so good. I was listening to a class once in a retreat by a very learned devotee, Adi Purush. And I wish I could cite the reference, but I believe it's from Jiva Goswami, but it's from one of the Goswamis. You can see I'm not a great scholar, but anyway, he was talking about how the devotee offers everything, even his garbage. Now, what does that mean? How can we offer our garbage to Krishna? I mean, we have garbage. We have garbage in our minds and our hearts. What does it mean to offer it to Krishna? He said the devotee offers everything to Krishna. So when we offer those things that are useless, that's the actual term, the useless things that we have, what are we saying? We're saying, Krishna, you deal with this. Take it away. Do something with it. I don't want it. I'm offering it to you. Take it away. Use it if you can in some way, perhaps to keep me enthused, to seek a higher level, to remind me of my position. We all are familiar with the prayers of our different acharyas, Narottam especially. Most of the time when he writes, he describes himself as Patita Pavana. And in not just a Patita Pavana, but he'll say something like, Mo Samo Patita Pavan Nahi Chubhavane. You won't find anyone more fallen than me in the three worlds. Mo samo patita Prabhu, nahi kichuar. You won't find anyone great, more fallen. And we may think, this is Narottam. I'm certainly more fallen than Narottam. But this is the mood that develops in a devotee as he becomes more and more aware of the garbage that he's accumulated after lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes in this material world. The dirty things that we've accumulated in our hearts and our minds. And we have to get rid of them. But we can't get rid of them ourselves. We have no power to do so. So we offer it to Krishna. We say, please take these away. Take these away. Free me. Fill my mind. And that's the wonderful thing about the process of Krishna consciousness, is that unlike the Buddhists or those who attempt to empty the mind until it's just empty, we empty the mind of the useless, the garbage, and Krishna fills it with himself. Till bit by bit, our minds, our thoughts, and our hearts become absorbed in thoughts and feelings for Krishna. That is the path. So I'm going to take I think maybe we could take some time for reflections, for comments, questions. I hope we've set a little bit of the stage for what's to come. The path out of this dilemma, not into just trying to sort it out, find, determine what is the righteous thing to do. We can see this situation that in the Mahabharata, we find again and again, there are these moral dilemmas, perhaps the most complex and complicated, I mean, is the Yudhishthira's participation in the dice match and Draupadi's disrobing and so on. I mean, that is beyond where is Dharma here? What is right? What is wrong? Too complex. So this is the world of karma, the world of karma, the world of Dharma. Within the world of karma is such a complex and difficult arena that we can never succeed ultimately in that world. Therefore, Krishna says, Sarva Dharma Parityaj. Don't try. Mam ekam saranam. Just surrender to me. And don't worry anymore about this sin and not sin and pious and so on. Aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshaya shyas masucha. This is the path for us to follow. So, Hare Krishna. If you like to, maybe there's some questions or comments or feedback, reflections. I'll leave it to Mani if you want to take us on from here, because we've spoken for about 45 minutes. So tell me what to do next.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful explanation. We will go through some questions. If anybody is having any doubts on today's class or anything, because Prabhuji is very senior and disciple of his Srila Prabhupada, and he was serving a long time in ISKCON. So if any type of question Prabhuji can answer for you, please go ahead.
I don't know if I can answer, but I can try. Or reflections, experiences you may have had in which you found yourself in an Arjuna-like situation, and how you dealt with it. That's also. Otherwise, let's see. Let's go. Okay. We have somebody here. Vishva Kalyana Gaur. Hare Krishna. And if you're speaking, I can't hear you.
Krishna Prabhu. These
Hare
are my
Krishna.
humble obeisances. It's
Dandavad.
Hare Krishna. I just wanted to express my gratitude that we have the good fortune of
Sir,
your
we can
association
hear.
today.
We can hear now.
Thank you so much for accepting our invitation and giving us your valuable association, and for explaining us about the karmic path and the spiritual path. Prabhu, my question is again related to this, how to understand our specific role in that path, because I understand there's a path to choose and there's a process to follow in that path, but what's my specific role in that? So I understand that devotional service and the 9 processes and all that, but what's my specific role to play in God's plan? So how can one person go about answering that question? Thank you, Prabhu.
So actually we have, all of us have just one role. It's very, very simple. We're all servants. So our role is to serve. That's the fundamental thing. Now, how to serve becomes the next question. What is my particular service? What is the service that I can best do for Krishna? What is the best service I can do for my spiritual master and the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? So to find that out requires a number of things. There's introspection and just studying and seeing your karma, because we come into although we're not here to improve our karma or to deal with our karma. Krishna is taking care of all that, but we have karma. Karma is there. The bodies that we have, the minds that we have, the brains, the situations that we have, these are all, to a large extent, they're result of our past karmas. So whatever those are, we understand we have that. We have, based on that, we have certain abilities, and we recognize this is all given by Krishna. So how can we use them? So that's one thing, we can see that. The second thing is we have to see what are the devotees asking? What is our spiritual master asking? And what is Krishna asking us to do from within? Because Krishna is speaking, he's our friend, he's within us, and he will help us through intelligence. So all of these things come together to help guide us to understand what is our specific service in spreading Krishna consciousness. But our role is very simple. We're servants of Krishna. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Prabhu. So my understanding is that we need to answer 3 questions. What can I do? What do the devotees want? And what does Krishna want? Thank you so much for your answer. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So,
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Thank you for very wonderful, enlightening classes, Prabhu. And Prabhu, the one point is very much struck in my heart is that many times we think that we don't have nothing to offer to Krishna, and today you have enlightened us that especially I'm talking about myself. I have so much things to offer to Krishna. So many garbages are there which I cannot able to handle.
Give him that.
And, everything we can give to Krishna. It's very wonderful, Prabhu, and a very enlightening class, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, yes. And then the thing, though, that we have to be careful of, because as we offer Krishna our lives, We offer him and we say, and here's all this stuff that we have that we don't want. But then he will give us energy. He'll give us the ability to offer something him that will actually please him. So that's the reward. By offering him your useless things, he will give you something useful to offer to him.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Our pranams to you and our pranams to Mataji and all. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
So I hope you are having is this your program every Friday? This is Gita. Do you have more programs? Because I know that you when I was there was a whole gathering, but I know you can't do that now. So do you have in the afternoon, do you also have a online program? Everyone is muted. So
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we have regularly around 5 to 6 programs happening now.
yes.
During morning time, we have Bhagavatam class, and 9:30 we have a regular class on different topics, especially from Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita or something. And afternoon we have Bhagavad Gita class, right? Again for regional language. Then evening we have book reading sessions and again Bhagavad Gita class. So we have around 6 programs happening. And today we have one program this, and morning we have Bhagavatam class. Now this is second program. At 12:30 we have another program. So Fridays everybody's are busy.
Yes. Yeah. Friday is free day. So
For us, it is free day.
yeah.
And also
So you get
people
fill
are,
it up
people
with
are
kata.
yes, people are under lockdown some areas, so they don't have any other option. So we are organizing different programs for them, because at least they will get the association and some hearing. That is our this. And also from day 4 yesterday onwards, we started one summer camp for children also.
So my wife Atita Guna just walked in.
Hare Krishna.
Remember her
Hare
from our
Krishna
visit?
Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So we are 1 month long children's program also happening now.
Okay.
That is from Calcutta. One Prabhuji is taking the class for us.
Good. Nice. Wonderful.
So
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We are all getting association through online from different part of the world.
Very good. Yeah. Well,
Thank
we'll
you.
have to get it more and more like this and continue it.
Yes, sure, Prabhuji.
and improve
So
it.
if anybody have any other question, otherwise we will conclude.
Yes. Thank you. Namavatar. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shivaguna Prabhu is on. Shivaguna Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. All right. Thank you so much.
Vishwakalyan Prabhu, can you please give thanks to Prabhuji on behalf of all Kanya Desh devotees? Vishwakalyan Prabhuji.
Vishwa Kalyan Gaur. Hare Krishna. He's there, but I think
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
He couldn't. Okay, Namadar Prabhu, can you do the thanks to Prabhuji on behalf of Kanya Desh devotees?
Anyway.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Actually, apart from what Manibhushan Prabhu has mentioned, there are many other classes are going around in Kanya Desh. This is Rasikendra Das. That was from Prabhu.
Wonderful.
So we have actually evening we have got Bhagavatam class at 6:30 p.m. online. One of the devotees will be taking classes. Tomorrow we have evening Saturday Bhagavad Gita class taken by one of our devotees. So apart from that, we do have a camp. Of course, you know, when you are staying in Braj Prakash Prabhu's house,
Yes.
You come to know because Ramchandra Sundar Prabhu was there. So he would have actually informed you about the other classes which we are taking away in the camps.
Yeah.
We have many camps where our devotees used to go for giving classes.
Right.
And
Right.
still, actually, we are taking classes in Hindi. And apart from that, Telugu and other languages, Tamil, also we are actually taking classes.
Okay.
So this is
Very
for,
good.
I think, yeah, this is actually, I mean, I just wanted to share. In addition to what Manibhushan Prabhu has said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hare Krishna
Great.
Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat.
Dandavad.
Prabhu, in our area, some tribes, especially the Hindu tribes, I should say, they are in a very big dilemma. They don't have money to eat or collect their food also. And so far we know that they are eating some kind of leaves for last many days. Now we know that the Vaishnava sevas are the best sevas, Vaishnav sevas. And
Yes.
in my place, in Pundarik Dham, Ishkan, that is in Chittagong, Bangladesh, they
Yes.
are also having having the shortage of food. So now my question to you, which one, where should I send my little service, to ISKCON, Pundarik Dham, or to those tribal people?
Well, that's not something that I should tell you to do. It's something that you should decide on your own, based on, you know, what inspiration you have. When it comes to serving others, to serving the devotees or serving the general public, it begins, in my view, it begins with the recognition that everyone is part and parcel of Krishna, that everyone is worthy or should be seen with compassion, and that it takes a little bit of thought and energy to see, okay, where will my service, where will my support have the most effect in terms of uplifting the society. So, and this relates to the need. You have people there who have a great deal of need. And I think the way to try to look at this is see, how can I do this conjointly? How can I simultaneously serve the Vaishnavas and serve the people who are in need? So that's the beauty of our prasadam distribution programs, in that when we support the distribution of prasadam to the needy, then we simultaneously serve the devotees who are doing the prasadam distribution, who are preparing the prasadam, who are offering it to Krishna, and we serve those who receive it. So my suggestion, if I were in your position, I would see, is there some way that I can support the temple in doing some relief for these people? Now, when we do that, when we support ISKCON's relief efforts, we can understand that the temple itself needs to be supported. I mean, for the temple to do the relief, it has to have you can't send out brahmacharis or anyone on an empty stomach to feed other people. They first of all have to eat.
Yes, yes.
So in this way, we can combine these services. That's what I would suggest, if there's a way to do that. If there's no way to do that, and the temples, the Vaishnavas, they're our family members. So just like when you're faced with a situation in which, you know, your family is in need, but there are other families in need, obviously you're going to serve your family members first. You can't say, okay, well, you know, these people next door, they also are in need, so I'm just going to treat you equally. You know, No, you're going to give special attention to your family members. So the devotees, the Vaishnavas, especially the ISKCON members, they're our family. We are one family. And so our first responsibility and duty is to make sure that our own family members are taken care of. And then if we can, to also work with them to help those around, our neighbors, the people that are there. And hopefully there's a way to do both at the same time.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you very, very much. It's been a great privilege, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. You seem to have a lot going on. It's really nice, and I'll be looking forward to hearing more about it.
Hare Krishna,
All right.
Damodar Prabhu, can you please give the word of thanks from on behalf of Kanyadis devotees?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your very wonderful, enlightening class. On behalf of all the Kanyadis devotees, we sincerely thank from our bottom of the heart that we need to have your association regularly, and Prabhu, and we are expecting your grace and Her Grace Mataji also once again visit us and give us your association so that we can progress in our devotional service, Prabhu. And
Well, maybe if they open the airlines, and
Yes,
we can
Prabhu.
go and come back.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Perhaps
And
we can make a difference.
thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu. And I request all the devotees to thank Prabhuji. We will chant 3 times Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama,
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 Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama,
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 Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
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 Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Jai
Hare Krishna, thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
We will look forward more association in future days.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Vancha kalpata